All right. Well, good afternoon or good morning to some, depending where you are. Welcome to the Career and Leadership Workshop Prep webinar. We will be talking today about our career workshop logistics, organization, and details on presentation. So those of you who are PLC will be in a breakout room, and those of you who are DHA will be in another breakout room and receive instructions and tips on how to do your presentation for the workshop. We're giving a couple of minutes to those entering still, but we are in the Career and Leadership Workshop Prep webinar. All right. I think we can continue. The workshop will be in July, and we will be talking about dates and hours. So take it away, Chanel. No, oh, this is me. Sunday, July 31st, everybody will fly to DC. We will be doing flight arrangements for all the interns. And some of you might get there on a Saturday. Guam intern will be there Saturday. And we will fly out on Thursday, August 4th. So everybody that attends the workshop will go home on Thursday, August 4th, or back to the site if they have an extension. Our workshop will be in person this year. 2 years without in person, so we're very excited. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. again. And this is where you, as an intern, will present your summer work. And this can be in form of a oral presentation if you're a DHA, or a PLC presentation if or a poster presentation if you're a PLC. You will have an opportunity to explore other NPS careers, and you'll see why when we discuss the agenda. You will again hear about hiring authorities from authorities in hiring authorities from DC, and you can meet NPS and Department of the Interior Management. And this is a very important networking event for all of us. So next.
So some key points and important deadlines. We are making the posters due on Tuesday, July 25th, just so we can print them for you guys and get that done ahead of time and not worried about doing it last minute. We have practice presentations. Everyone will practice their presentation with a member of EFTA, so either myself, Shelda, or Daniela, from July 21st to the 28th. So if you want your poster to be done and finalized before that, make sure you're booking a time kind of early on. And we're happy to look at those earlier too if you guys get them done, or at least I'm happy to look at them. Submit your final presentation to us and 5 to 7 high quality photos to us as well. If you have a program, Google Drive, we can use that. We can also share some folders with you guys. During the workshop, you'll also complete some program evaluations, which are kind of towards the end of the workshop. If you're wrapping up at your site and you're not heading back to your site after the workshop, you'll return your keys, your PIV card, any field gear that you might have borrowed from your site, and any other government materials that you use during your internship. So some of the objectives, just to kind of reiterate what Shelda said, you're going to present your project results and kind of what you did throughout the summer to your cohort and also NPS management. You're going to be able to learn about science careers from some people that are already in the field and have day jobs in this field of study, and learn more things about how to get into these types of careers. You're going to participate in a lot of discussions about diversity and inclusion in the workplace and in conservation and natural resource management. And you're also going to be able to visit DOI, so the Department of the Interior, which is a really cool building if you haven't been there, and provide feedback on the program you're in, the projects, and also your just overall experience.
All right, so one of the first things that we want you to look at is that we have a very full agenda. And that's why we're gonna go over this today, and you'll have this agenda digitally for you to look at and not get lost, so don't worry. Like I said, we will be arriving at the Ronald Reagan Airport, I think it is. And then from there, you take the metro station to the hotel, which is the State Plaza. We'll be arriving anytime from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. because at 6:30, we have the reception. There'll be a little bit of food, there'll be introductions, and we'll do this at the hotel. Next, please. And Monday morning, we will be promptly in the hotel lobby because, as you can see, we have a full day of breakfast at 7 a.m. in the Bison Bistro. And after that, we'll gather in the auditorium. We'll have greetings from NPS management. We'll have, and leadership, we'll have a panel on diversity and inclusion and hiring directly from human resources staff. And then we'll have, on this first day, we will have our direct hire authority presentations. So there will be 3 mosaics and 4 LHIP DHA interns presenting. We have that schedule. We're still figuring some things out to just make it final. Then we'll have lunch. We do have breakout sessions by hiring authority. Like I said, there's 2 hiring authorities, though they're both different. They both have pros and cons, pros, not cons, just pros. It's a hiring authority. And we will have a chance to talk to these hiring authority experts about how to, and just any other question that you had that you did not answer during the internship, they will be able to answer. Like I said, they're experts in this field. Then in the afternoon, after that breakout session that we have a break, we will have Catherine Chapman with the federal resumes part 2. The only thing that we recommend for this part 2 is you already took part 1 of this workshop with her and you had a lot of recommendations and suggestions. So if you can get your federal resume together and then have it for this part 2, it'll be much better for you to tailor and tweak your resume. And after that, we have another session of DHA presentations. This time we have 4 interns, 1 mosaics, 3 LHIPs for that 4 to 5 session. We'll wrap up. And after wrapping up, we'll have dinner. So that is Monday. Tuesday, next slide. Tuesday, you can see it's a little bit more relaxed, but it's because we have breakfast at 7, but then we have a presentation to both programs with an African-American author, outdoor guide, and independent media producer. And his name is James Edward Mills. You might have heard of him. We're very excited to have him in the workshop and just sharing his experience, having him with you guys. We're just very, very excited. So after James, we'll have Navigating Federal Careers with somebody from the DOI. And I forgot to mention that all of the locations of where we'll be are in the agenda, again, just because we're navigating through the Department of the Interior, and we will have divisions, different conference rooms. So when you see the Yates Auditorium, North Penthouse, we'll have everything that you need to not get lost in your agenda. All right, and that afternoon, we will have, after lunch, the poster presentations where PLCs will be beside their poster, and DOI staff and everybody that's in the building that day basically will be able to ask you questions, and you will be able to present. Now, keep in mind that this is the Department of the Interior. It's not the NPS building. So it might be somebody from the NPS leadership asking you about your summer work. They want to know what you did, how you did it, and how you feel after contributing to the park. But it might be somebody else from an agency. There's FEMA, there's US Fish and Wildlife, there's other agencies there and leadership that might go and ask you a question. We've had directors before asking questions, and we just don't know who's who from other agencies, but then we'll get tap on the shoulder and somebody from NPS will say, that's the director or this is the supervisor for this agency or program. So just keep that in mind for PLCs because DHAs will be presenting in a conference room, but PLCs will present in a hallway outside of the Bison Bistro, and everybody goes through that hallway basically at certain times. And then that evening, you will have dinner on your own. And we'll have instructions on, not instructions, suggestions where you can go eat also if you don't know your way around DC. I don't live there, so I need those suggestions too. All right, next. Wednesday, I want to get too excited about Wednesday, but yes, we have breakfast again a little bit later, but then the group gathers and we'll have a message from the director of the National Park Service. And this is always very exciting because there they have heard already from your work. They've been talking to you and they will come back with a strong message to say thank you and be on your way and hope you come back to the NPS. I love that message. Then we'll have a group photo with that director. For the group photos, I forgot to mention there's one on Monday. We have to wear the polo and we might be using our mosaics or LHIP, your program shirt, polo shirt, or your field shirt for, you know, if this day, Wednesday, we're going to the National Zoo, we will have time on our own from noon to 7 before we reconvene at the Tonic restaurant. So just, we'll talk about attire, but just so you know, we need you to wear your program uniforms whenever there's a photo in the agenda, just so you know that. All right, and then after the DC time on your own, where you can go to museums, parenthesis, small detail, you're still on your work week. So so nobody on scooters, and I'll repeat this again, very mom of me, and just so you know that it's just we're not comfortable with you being on a scooter through Washington DC if you don't know your way around it. So that said, at 7 we're gonna go and have our final dinner together at Tonic Restaurant, and then after that, next slide please. You will head home. Like I said, we are doing the flight arrangements for you to fly out on Thursday, August 4th. We'll start booking flights from 6 a.m. We'll help with arrangements going to the airport back to get on your flight. And if anybody, you know, needs any help and instructions, yeah, we're all gonna be there. We're all going to be flying out on the same day. So I'll fly back with probably the Puerto Ricans like I did in 2019. All right. I think that's it for our agenda. Chanel.
So what to pack? You're obviously going to have to pack your program polo. So make sure that that's in your bag just for the picture that Sheldon mentioned. You also will need a government issued ID. You need it obviously for the plane, but you also need it for the Department of the Interior. You have to go through security to get in there, so they need it to be presented there. For the first evening, where we're doing that kind of like meet and greet reception, it's totally casual, so just wear what you would normally wear. For the first 3 days, you need pants, shirts, skirts. We have some recommendations later on in the slides, or any like business kind of casual type dressing. And then day 4 is just pretty casual as well. For shoes, please make sure you're comfortable walking in shoes. We don't want anyone that's suffering. I have definitely spent long days in heels and I don't wear them anymore. So please just be mindful of that. You're going to be walking quite a bit and standing. Bring a raincoat or umbrella if you think you're going to need it. We'll check the weather ahead of time as well. A light sweater would be good to bring for the different buildings that we're going to be in. Any personal items that you need to bring, and then food, money, or just money for spending on your own.
All right, and what to wear to the Department of the Interior. Now, take into account, this is your career and leadership workshop. So we want you to represent yourself and the program well. If you have any doubts or questions, I have FaceTime with interns with their attire before packing. So we're there for you if you need help picking from the clothes that you already have. Of course, we don't want you to go into any buying spree because it's not the intention of doing this, but we do want you to look well dressed because, like I said, this is Department of the Interior. We will require business casual attire. Now on Monday, we will want you to wear the program polo because there's a group photo on the first day, and then Tuesday business casual, Wednesday also business casual, and then Wednesday PM because we're going on the outing, but then coming back to the restaurant. Of course, it can be casual, and on Wednesdays I've seen the dress is casual, but then with tennis shoes, it's totally fine as long as you have no ripped pants or tie-dyed shoes. You should be fine. Next, for the men, we recommend a button-down shirt or polo. The tie always optional. You look really nice in a suit jacket, but it's not obligatorio. And of course, bottoms with your belt, your slacks, khakis, chino pants look great. The shoes always closed-toed for the Department of the Interior, and actually most workplaces will want you to have closed-toed shoes. And please clean. No jeans, no sandals, no ripped clothing or hats. Actually, hats are not even allowed in the building. Wearing a hat is not even allowed in the building, and wearing sunglasses, you're not allowed in the building if you're wearing a hat or sunglasses. So just so you know that. Next, I know this is a little bit of a fancy suggestion for us. I know Chanel and I don't dress like that. We might dress like the far right one sometimes if needed, but just button up shirt, a blouse, a suit, tailored pants, skirts, or dress. And then of course, open or closed toed, flats. We don't recommend heels, but if you feel comfortable in a small heel, of course, you're welcome to, but no jeans, no sandals, and no ripped clothing either. Next.
So for flights and flying to Washington, D.C., just know that we're going to coordinate this with you. So just hang tight while we kind of get logistics ironed out. It's always great to check into your flight 24 hours before your actual flight. You can do that on like a bunch of different apps that like airlines have. It just makes it so much easier. Be at the airport 1 to 2 hours in advance. I would suggest 2 to 3, but maybe I'm crazy. If you can do a carry-on, it's much easier. You won't need that much stuff since it's only a few days. Obviously, if some of you are flying directly home, you're going to need to bring everything that you took to your site. So we understand if you need to bring everything that you brought so you can take it home. For carry-on luggage, just be mindful that, there are regulations, so you can only have 3-ounce bottles of different items. And this is kind of what it looks like, the carry-on luggage size, but it also depends on the airline. So make sure that you're checking depending on what airline you're flying.
For the metro system, like I said, we will be flying into, I think, need to confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. That's the one that is closest to our hotel. It's a very short metro ride to the hotel. If for any reason we have to fly anybody to the Dallas airport, it's a little over an hour to get you to the hotel, but we are in charge of travel logistics. We will tell you where you are arriving. Of course, we will do everything possible for everybody to arrive to the Ronald Reagan Airport. And from there, next slide, please. And from there, I've put here the instructions. You can take the Metro to the State Plaza Hotel. You buy the Metro card at the station and you will have a per diem to do this purchase. So no worries there. You will go to the Blue Line. It's a very user-friendly track. So you will see the Blue Line very clearly and everything is identified. You won't get lost in the Metro station, definitely. Everything has a sign and everything has colors. It's color coded also. So you get off on the Foggy Bottom Metro station. You will have a 9-minute walk. And this is the map from where you get off at the Foggy Bottom Metro station. And I'll already be there, or anybody that's already there can send you the location to our WhatsApp group, and you can just put your Google Maps and walk there if you feel comfortable. I do that all the time and I feel comfortable doing it, but I like to have the maps in case I need it. So you will get to the hotel and there's the address in case you want to punch that in also in your maps. Next slide. And this is a picture of the hotel where you're supposed to walk in and find us. We will have a table in the lobby to check you in into our program. We'll check you in the hotel, help you check in the hotel, check you in for the program, make sure that you're there, you're complete, you're okay, you made it. And we'll be there for further instructions and giving you the welcome packet for your career workshop. Next one.
This is just kind of like an outline of what food is going to look like. Mostly we're doing group breakfast and group lunch, and then dinner is typically on your own. We are working on getting you guys a per diem, and so we'll let you know what that will look like when we get a little bit closer. We will also share these slides with you, so you can take a screenshot of this, or you can just wait until we share the slides with you and share the recording as well.
You know, I see that we have a couple of questions in the chat. So
Yeah.
Let me start with Jeremiah, which is the one I saw come in right now. Jeremiah, we will have time for haircuts, and we've done this in the past too. We have made sure that we have a close place, close by to the hotel for the intern to get a haircut. And like I said, we are trying to make logistics as easily as possible. So if you have to leave your site before to make arrangements like that, sometimes we've gone out to get shoes for somebody, we've gone out to get haircuts. So if you need to fly in a little bit earlier or earlier because of that, yes, there is Sunday will be your time, unless you have to get in. You fly in from a complex site, so we might fly you in Saturday. Now we can take the questions in the order they came in. So I don't know which one's the first.
Vivian's doing a really good job about answering stuff. Tatiana had asked, are we going to be able to go back to the hotel to change into the casual clothes?
For the outing in the afternoon on Wednesday? Yes.
Well, there's a Tuesday one. You said there was Tuesday we changed into casual, and you had Wednesday change into casual on the
Well, Tuesday's a little tight for you to go back to the, it's a close commute walking distance, but it's August in DC, a lot of buildings, it gets really hot. So what I can suggest and what I do is I wear comfortable clothes on Tuesday, and I'll have a little sack with comfortable shoes for the outing.
Okay, that's what for me to be able to change the shoes particularly.
Yes, everybody in DC has their shoes in a little bag. You're gonna see that. That's where I learned it actually. So yes, not full change of clothes, but definitely shoes. Okay. Any other question?
Are we all sharing rooms in the hotel? If so, when do we know who we are sharing a room with? Yes.
Yeah. So I make the mosaics a list of roommates, and I guess somebody from the office made the LHIP list.
But probably Daniela. And we'll share it with you guys kind of when we send all of the other information out, so that
we will send a packet of information before. So we'll send the agenda, we'll send the metro, we'll send specific instructions on how much the card costs and how much the per diem is, and then we can send out the roommates list.
And it's 2 per room, from what I know.
Yes, 2 per room.
Is it possible to choose a roommate? Someone asked.
Choose. James. Oh, right, James, you're with another Mosaics. You want to keep Nate, your LHIP Biscayne Park roommate? We'll see about that. Probably can. It doesn't, we're just paying for the room. It's not per this person. Yeah, definitely. We want you to feel comfortable, of course. I'll check.
Someone also asked, I kind of did answer this. I did answer it, but do we have the option to fly directly home? It just depends on your end date. Some of you will go back to your site. If you're going to stay there for a couple of weeks, there might be work that you need to wrap up, and if you need to get your car, things like that. So we'll make sure you guys know which one you're doing and everything.
Yeah, well, if you drove to your site, you're definitely going to go back to your site. But if you didn't drive, I know that Jeremiah didn't drive. So Jeremiah will fly to the hotel, to our workshop. He has to take everything with him. And so does, who else flew from the program? From Andres flew. I know that Andres flew. So Andres will have to take everything back unless you have an extension. If you have a 20-week internship, then you go back to the park to finish your internship.
What other questions do you have? I know that can't be it.
I'll have a question here. I'm going to go into the cord.
I do have a question. It's oddly specific. So everyone might be like, what? So I know like flights right now are really expensive, especially like as you book it closer and closer. And I assume me being in North Carolina, I'd probably be flying out of Norfolk to DC. I do know Amtrak has lines that might take some of us who are closer to DC to not Grand Central, Union in DC. So that could possibly, I don't know how that works with y'all, but I take Amtrak a lot. It's a good system, and it might save y'all some money getting the closer ones to DC instead of having to spend like a bunch of money for us in the area.
Right. Well, we can coordinate with you, Isabel, for for further instructions. But for now, this is the usual schedule for getting everybody to the workshop. Let me see if I can. Chanel, just a quick reminder that you're the host, so I think you have access to these breakout rooms that we have to do. Me as co-host, I don't see the little button for the breakout rooms. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do that.
I made you the host because I don't know how to do breakout rooms. If we are driving there, what's the deal with parking? Does the hotel have free parking, or do we pay?
No, the hotel does not have free parking, definitely. Yeah, we would have to, if you're driving there, we would have to cover that for you, and we can go over options for this. But definitely that's on us, because we would regularly pay a flight. So if you're not flying, you definitely have a budget for travel to the workshop.
I will be arriving to my site on July 10th. What would the poster expectations for an intern starting late in the summer be? That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's a really great question. And that's an LHIP, right? This happens all the time. LHIPs arriving later in the internship to the park. Usually supervisors and mentors at the park help you do your poster, your presentation on what you will be working on, your expectations, your contributions to the work in the park. You won't have results, and usually these presentations are a little bit shorter because you don't have results yet or conclusions. You just have a presentation on what you're about to embark on or what you're doing right now. So because you have like 3 weeks of span, you might have some preliminary results. And we've worked with these type of presentations before. Definitely. They're really nice, very visual.
Also, you can talk more about what the site has done in the past. You can talk about what will be done with what you're collecting, what data you're collecting, or what the work is. So it's not just like, it doesn't have to be clear cut, like a full front.
Yeah, no. You have creative license for that one.
Can guests come see our posters or come to our talks? Can family come?
Yes, for that, 2 weeks before the workshop, we will need every family member's first name, last name, and which intern they're coming to see, if it's more than one sometimes, and what day they're gonna be going into the Department of the Interior. So we will get them on a list. So to get into the department, because you've already gone through a background check, we don't need you to go through that again. You're pre-approved to go into the Department of the Interior, but this is a federal building and it doesn't have public access. You have to have authorization. So we will need the names of the family members attending so we can put them on a list, and then they can attend, and they will have to present their ID. You and I need to have the ID, and our IDs are our tags, our name tags. So don't leave your name tag, because without your name tag, and they know the program has a name tag. If you don't have your name tag because you lose it in the field for whatever reason, let us know, because you also have your business cards, and you can present your business card and your ID to get in. You just need to prove that you're you with an ID.
Is it just family members? Or
No. Anybody that wants to see an intern, a friend that lives in DC, we need their name 2 weeks before. We don't have Wi-Fi access inside the Department of the Interior. I can anticipate that question. Won't have Wi-Fi. If you wanted Wi-Fi, you'd have to provide your computer's IP address too. Very strict and understandable. It's Washington, DC.
any other questions?
I have a quick question. I guess it's like kind of specific. If we don't need a flight back because we're gonna do some other like family travel, who should we contact?
Your program lead or manager.
Cool, thank you.
I have a question. So, I mean, it's about the schedule. Are we gonna be able to see everyone's poster presentation and our presentation?
That's a great question, Andres. So you will be able to see the DHA presentations on the first day. Yes, everybody will be together for that. For the posters, everybody's right beside their poster. So you can quickly go and make a round, come back to your poster, stay at your poster a couple of minutes, and then, well, stay at your poster and then go do another round, because you'll all be presenting posters at the same time. All right, we have the breakout rooms to talk about presentations. So all DHAs will be with me and Vivian, but this is the catch. I'm just gonna break out the room. So if you're DHA, make sure you're in the room with me. If you're PLC, make sure you're in the room with Chanel. Maybe some moving around will have to will have to occur. So let me just do that now. And see you in the room.